Okay, so we are going to put some of these things that are listed here. So first we'll be trying with this trace part. So remember that when we are writing the trace, how do we write this? We generally sum up on the same basis. So we can write it like this. That's why I. Usually this I is different, but here we are writing the same because we want to trace, and trace is along the diagonal. So these are same. Okay. Now we can add the completeness relation in between this x and y. So let's say I write I some a prime okay. So you can recognize these are just numbers basically. If we were to open this sum, let's say this is from 1 to some, this is from 1 to some 10 or 20, or let's say even infinite. So what it would look like would be just x11 y11 plus x12 y12 and so on. So these are just numbers, so I can swap them, right? And what will I get? I'm not writing different sums now. So what will I have is this a prime by I x prime, right? So this completeness can be resolved, and what the I will not be there anymore, it will be only a prime. This is now yx, which is basically trace of yx. So we proved the first part. Now the second part is okay. So again I'm just going to write xy. Now this is just some matrix, so say I and j both. I again I can use the completeness somewhere. X K J, right? This is xy. If I take the dagger now, so when I take dagger on these things, the order is reversed, as we know from the bracket notation. This becomes x dagger plus y. This is j dagger, this is k, right? So okay, again notice these are just numbers, so I can swap the order. What will we have? So dagger k k, so then I use this completeness. This will give me j y dagger, x dagger, I, which is y dagger, x dagger. So, okay. And so also prove this. Okay. And this we want to ask is I is imaginary and f of a. A is permission operator, but well, we need to operate this on something. So let's say we use some identity here, and for our case identity is some basis of a prime, and a on a prime is some eigenvalue this. So what will we have? Exponential I of a. Okay, so if I want to expand this exponential part, what will I have? Identity plus I of a plus I of a squared to factorial, so on, and all of this operated on this. So this f of a will basically now become an eigenvalue because if it operates on these a primes, just returns nothing but an a prime eigenvalue. So instead of an operator valued function, now it is just a number valued function. So on. This is identity. Just using just this. Okay. So we can close this identity and it will be back to the exponential part, but just notice this slight change. Right. Okay. So it's now eigenvalued function. Okay. Okay, fine. Now we need to look at this psi star psi. So what we are asked is this. We need to evaluate this, and they have given us this, which we already know, but for the sake of completeness they have given this. So okay, okay. So we need to take the complex conjugate of this, which is changing the order, and this will be x double prime a prime. Okay. So if we take a complex conjugate of this, what will we have? Will be again changing the number. These are some complex numbers. Okay. Psi star psi. Okay, so this will be a prime, a prime. Can use the completeness here, and this will give us x prime, x double prime, which is nothing but or if it is continuous basis, this